Hello. Hi everyone. Good evening to all of you. Can all of you hear me? Okay, great. So, welcome everyone to the class. How are all of you doing? Okay, great. So, hello Adikoya Bowell. So, is my voice clear to all of you? As Asia, Sanobar, Seher, Monachen, Mohammed, Kaveen, Adikoya, Devidas, Rezi. Okay, good. So today we will be learning about the topic change management, which is in human resource management. It comes under human resource uh, management. Okay. So what do we mean by the term change? According to you, all of you, how will you define change? And why do we generally need a change? What what is the benefit? Anyone? What do we mean by the term change? It's a very common English term. I hope it won't be difficult for. Have all of you heard this term change? I'm not talking about change management. Okay, when I say the term change, what first thought comes in your mind? What is the first thought that comes in your mind when I say change? No one? Slowness in ongoing projects comes first. Um, but Bowell, how does it slowness? Okay, Rezi, how can you correlate your sentence with change? I'm not able to correlate. What do you mean? Adikoya says change is alter and in business angle it means transformation. Okay, very good. See, one reason can be we need a change because we are not getting the desired outcome from the current process which we are following or the organization is following, right? When the management changes the projects or stop for a while of time, maybe, I'm not sure. Anyways, let's see what it says. So today we are discussing all these points. 5 activities contributing to effective change management, motivating change, creating vision of change. We will also be discussing about developing political support, managing the transition, and sustaining momentum. Let's start. According to Jack Welch, rate of change means when the rate of change outside exceeds the rate of change inside, the end is in the sight. How many of you agree with this statement? When the rate of change outside, it means the process or the job that we are into. If there are so many changes in the ongoing process, right, it will end up as a disaster in any process. Here, inside change means changing the person, right? The person can change themselves and improve by improving their skills, right? By working on their attitude. That is what he means, Jack. If the change outside is more than the change inside, it will be a disaster and an end. Therefore, it is necessary that one keeps on changing themselves from inside, right? Yeah, everyone? Okay. 5 activities contributing to effective change management. Okay. These are the 5 activities. This is the first point. Now, for achieving effective change management, what are the things we need to do? Number 1, motivating the change. It means that the change that we are implementing or the change that we are making in the system or the process or the approach, all of us who are the direct beneficiaries of that change should be confident enough to get the desired or expected output that they are expecting after the change. Number 2, creating a vision of change. All of us should have a long vision of when the change is required, why it is required, right? So one should have a vision at what time the change is required. So for this, self-introspection is very important. Self-introspection as well as self-belief. Until and unless we have the self-belief, we cannot have the vision of change, and it will be difficult to implement the vision of change that one sees. Clear? This is the second point. So we can say that change management is a structured process and the set of tools for managing the people side of change such that business results are achieved on time. Or we can also say that change management is a set of ideas, strategies and skills that can be applied to engage change effectively. Now, where we can apply these things in planning for change or in implementing the change or in supporting continuous improvement following the change. Now, the first question that comes to all of us minds: why do we need the change management system? What is its importance? And does it really need it? This question is coming in everyone's mind in the industry. Can anyone tell me why do we need it? Read this. We will read it together. What kind of change benefit from using the change management? Can all of you see what I have written on the board? Okay, good. Okay. Change management methods may be applied to any type of organizational change, including departmental mergers or technology implementation or creating team-based organizations and professional development. It may be helpful to think about change management methods on two levels. The first level of change management is generic enough to apply to any type of change, whether it is the creation of a new department or the implementation of a new technology in any organization. At this level, change management methods are mostly targeted at understanding the human response to change and creating effective strategies for engaging people to achieve change. So in the first level, the change is done on a lower magnitude just to check the reactions of the people, and then they can make strategies to overcome such emotions of the people with respect to the change. The second, now what happens in second level? The second level of change management includes methods that are specific to a particular change. For example, in technology implementations, specific actions include establishing and communicating the business case for change, ongoing relationship building, communication and training for effective staff, redesigning business process and creating and sustaining group to manage the project. While some of these activities apply to those to other types of change, this collection forms a boilerplate for technology implementation. So in the second level, the blueprint or the vision that has been seen for the change is being implemented, whether changing the technology, right, or changing the business process or changing the style of managing the project. These are the main benefits of change management. Now, let's see some examples which will further clear your doubts. Can all of you see what I have written with green color text? Okay. What are some examples of change management skills? Can any one of you suggest any example? Because all of you are working professionals and all of you might have also seen the change management thing in your organizations. So, does anyone want to share their experience of change management? Training the staff. Okay. Training for what purpose? Communication. Okay. Communication with reference to Rezi. Training to improve the product knowledge. Okay, that's good. Rezi, would you like to add something to it? Effective communication. Okay, good. Okay, now let's see what it says. Here's an example of a change management idea. A guideline for assessing the likely success of a proposed change requires evaluating three key elements. Number one, the leadership capacity and attention span for driving the change. Right, so leadership is also very important, which stood throughout the process of change. Next, the business need for the change, why the change is required, how will it affect the company's business, will it be a profit or a loss after the change, and the energy of affected people for and towards the change. An example of a change management strategy. For a communication plan, a leader should communicate about each step of the change 7 different times and in 7 different ways to encourage support for the change and help ensure its effectiveness. Example of a skill. At the outset of a change process, a leader should meet with each major stakeholder. Stakeholder means who are the peoples or the beneficiaries who are directly a part of the change process. Stakeholder group like staffs, customers, suppliers, and sponsors. How does the change will affect them and their business? Combine active sharing of the benefits and trade-offs of the change with active listening to stakeholder concerns. This makes any resistance visible, discussable, and hopefully resolvable. So these are some of the examples of change management. Now one more statement. So any doubts till now? Does anyone have any doubts? Okay. Next is, how can the change management help each one of us to deal with the change? How to deal with the situation after the change? There are a number of ways change management help people deal with the change. The 3 key benefits include: change management can help you recognize how powerful the human dynamics are in any change effort, how they will dramatically affect the final result, and how you can use that knowledge to attain the best possible outcome. Number 2, a change management strategy can act as a map for guiding action and helping you stay the course rather than getting caught up in the complexity and tumult of change. Number 3, change management ideas and tactics can help you develop the relationship you need to maximize the effectiveness of a change. So these are the 3 ways in which people deal with the change, or it impacts the peoples after the change is done. Clear? Okay, so let's come back to the PPT. Now let's go through each of the five elements. Number one, motivating change. Sensitize, sensitize organizations to pressure for change. Reveal discrepancies between current and desired state. It means that what are the loopholes in the current state, and after the change process is done, what will be the situation. That is what they mean. Reveal discrepancies between the current and desired state. Desired state means the state which everyone wants to see after the change is done. Number three, convey credible positive expectations for the change. So these are the parameters for motivating change and creating readiness for change. Now see this diagram. This is the force field analysis model. This is the current situation. These are the driving forces for change, which are so the forces are being applied in the current situation, and this downward force is what? It is the restraining forces of change. These forces are stopping for making the changes. Force field analysis model: strengthening or adding the driving forces, removing or reducing the restraining force. Now see in this, how can this current situation can be improved? Either we increase the magnitude of these forces, that is the driving forces, or we reduce the impact of these forces, these training forces. Then only the current situation will improve, and it will come somewhere over here, right? That is what they mean over here: strengthening or adding the driving forces, or removing or reducing the restraining forces, changing the direction of some of the forces, or if we can change the direction of the forces, then only the change state can be achieved. If we change the direction of, say, these forces there, this force is there, this force is there, right, or this force is there, then also this state can be achieved. That is what they are trying to say. Now it's your turn. Try these questions and tell me the answer. Take this opportunity to think of a situation in your organization where force field method model can be demonstrated. Begin by identifying a change being instituted in your organization. Yes, everyone, just try the first part and share one experience or one situation of which all of you have faced, where you feel this force field model was implemented to see the change. Let's see who all can answer. Anyone? Okay, can all of you name some of the driving forces? What all driving forces are there? Anyone? Advertisement, okay. Anything else? Currently advertised through English newspapers. Okay. Manachin, what about you? Strategic guidance. Okay, good point. And what about the restraining forces? As a change, we have started to advertise through Arabic as well. That's good. As a change, we have started to advertise through Arabic as well. Capital investment, yes, good point. So the biggest driving force is the capital investment. The capital. Lack of training, yes, correct. Okay, now let's see the barriers to change. Barriers mean the obstacles or the hindrances. Right, so this is a percentage given for the barriers. Resistance to change. This is the biggest barrier. It has 60%. Resistance means lack of courage to attempt the change process. Limitations of existing systems. The current existing system is not capable enough to participate in the change process. Lack of executive commitment. The top management peoples are not reluctant enough to go for the change. Lack of executive champion. It means that top leadership is not reluctant enough. Unrealistic expectations. Lack of cross-functional team. Inadequate team and user skills. Technology users not involved. Project charter too narrow. So these are the barriers to the change, the obstacles. Now in individual resistance, we have the habit of not attempting anything new or not going for the innovation. Then we have economic factors, that is the financial factors. Job security. Some people might have a fear of losing the job. Fear of the unknown. And last one, selective information processing. These are the organizational resistance. Threat to establish power relationship. Threat to establish resource allocations. Structural inertia. Limited focus of change, and group inertia. This is from the organizational resistance perspective. Now, how can we overcome resistance to change? Number one, education and communication. Number two, by means of negotiation. Number three, by participation and involvement. Number four, by manipulation and cooptation. Number five, facilitation and support. And number six, coercion. Can anyone tell me what do we mean by coercion? This one. This coercion is the practice of forcing another party to act in an involuntary manner by use of threats, right? So one party threats another party to act in a particular manner. Then we have the creative vision of change. Vision, which is very important. Until and unless you have the vision, you don't have the courage to do the change. Bold and valued outcomes and desired future state, constructing the envisioned future. Right? Some bold decisions needs to be taken for the desired outcome or the desired state one wants to see. Developing political support, assessing change agent power, identifying key stakeholders, influencing stakeholders. These are the political support. What would make them more supportive of the change? Information, understanding, involvement and ownership, changes in planned actions, direction from more senior managers. These are all the history, evidence of the success of the change. So this is the influence of the key stakeholders. Personal threat, non-involvement in decisions, personal rivalries, insufficient evidence in trial period. What would make them less supportive of the change? All these factors make one hesitant to participate in the change process. But see, this is the current state and this is the desired state, and between this we have the transition state, which means activity planning and change management team works in this space. And fifth one is sustaining momentum. Now once the change process starts, it is also very important to sustain that same momentum. Providing resource for change, building a support system for change agents, developing new competencies and skills, reinforcing new behaviors and staying on the course. So these are the 5 parameters. Yeah, this is, if you want to read further, you can read these books. So this brings to the end of this topic, change management. This is the basics of change management. So it's quite a theoretical topic, right? Any questions for me? One second. Okay, actually I was trying to find some case study for change management, but currently I don't have. So I'll share it next week. Fine, so that is all for today. We will continue next week on Monday. Right, this is a small topic. Okay, so thank you very much for attending the class. Thank you very much. Good night. Take care, all of you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.